Just months ago, he was the $230 million man, the richest quarterback in NFL history, the face of a franchise that bet everything on him. Now, Cleveland is quietly preparing for life without him, and nobody wants to say it out loud.
He's gotten better, and Watson just still hasn't taken off. Yeah, I think you look at it, how many Browns fans would rather Shedeur Sanders start for them this year? If you're picking between the two, I'd say 7 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10 would rather have Shedeur Sanders play for them. So maybe they look at it and they go, okay, we don't know how great this season's going to be. Now, I'm not inviting the business partners and stuff in my coach's room here, but we got to think about what we're doing this year and what we're doing for the future if you're involving Andrew Berry. And I just don't see a future with Deshaun Watson. The best chance at a future is with Shedeur Sanders. So, yeah, I want Shedeur, and I think they want Shedeur to step up there and take that job. So it might be going a little bit better as planned in that regard, wouldn't it? Or am I wrong? I could end up being wrong.
The player to insurance contracts, so nothing is like the same across the board. But when it comes to getting a salary cap credit, I think the big thing, the big takeaway to understand here is that the credit is not applied this season. Typically what happens is those insurance policy cap credits get applied in future years. That's why this report talks about the Browns getting over $88 million from 2024 through 2029. Because the Browns have void years on Deshaun Watson's contract through the 2029 season, even though he won't be on the roster after 2026.
Because deep inside the Browns organization, something is already shifted. Not in a press conference, not in a headline, but in the numbers, in the fine print, in the cold, calculated math of a football business that doesn't care about legacies, only about survival. This is the story of a fall nobody predicted and a rise nobody saw coming.
To the insurance. According to Pro Football Talk, NFL Player Association records shows more than $88 million in Browns salary cap credit for Deshaun Watson injuries while he's been with the Cleveland Browns. The insurance payouts were ultimately triggered by shoulders injury Watson suffered in 2023 and a torn Achilles tendon sustained in October 24th. Watson later retore his Achilles as well, and that causes him to miss the entire 2025 season. In all, Watson missed it.
It started with a report. Quiet, buried in financial filings most fans would scroll right past. But inside the Browns front office, it was anything but quiet. Deshaun Watson's massive contract, the one that broke the league, the one that promised a championship future, had a safety net built into it all along. Insurance. Millions of dollars in insurance taken out the moment ink hit paper. And now, that insurance is paying off, not for Watson, for the team that's slowly moving on from him. Nearly $90 million. That's what the Browns are set to recover from injury payouts tied to Watson's body breaking down, year after year, game after game. A shoulder injury in 2023, a torn Achilles in October of 2024, then, almost unthinkably, that same Achilles tearing again. An entire season gone, just like that. Add it all up, and the man Cleveland handed the richest guaranteed contract in NFL history has missed nearly 40 games since arriving. 40 games of silence where there was supposed to be greatness. And while the money flows back into Cleveland's salary cap in the years ahead, something more important is happening on the field, something the front office can't spin, can't explain away, can't bury in a press release. A rookie is knocking on the door, and he's not knocking politely. His name is Shedeur Sanders. And last season, with no first-team reps, no real preparation, thrown into chaos most quarterbacks never recover from, he did something remarkable. He won 3 times in 7 starts behind an offensive line that gave him almost nothing to work with. No one expected that. Not the fans, not the analysts, maybe not even Sanders himself. But here's where the tension really begins. Heading into this new season, the Browns head coach refuses to name a starter. Watson, the veteran entering his 10th NFL season. Sanders, the second-year gunslinger with something to prove. Open wide, still competing, still undecided.
Shedeur Sanders is coming off a rookie season, getting ready to start his second season, and Watson has been a veteran for 9 years. He's going into his 10th year. If the competition is even as of right now, and the head coach can't make a decision, it should be Shedeur Sanders, because Deshaun Watson should be blowing Shedeur Sanders out of the water by now. He's a vet. He's been around the league. And if it's close, you got to go with Shedeur Sanders.
Think about that for a second. A 9-year veteran, a $230 million investment, and he can't separate himself from a kid who barely got a real shot last year? That's not just a quarterback battle. That's a warning sign flashing red across the entire organization. Inside locker rooms, whispers travel fast, and the whisper growing louder in Cleveland right now is simple. If it's close, it shouldn't be close. Watson should be blowing Sanders out of the water by now. He has the experience, the pedigree, the resume, but he's not. And that single fact is changing everything. Because Sanders isn't just competing, he's making a case. Better accuracy on shorter and intermediate throws, real chemistry building with receivers, and that scrambling ability, the one thing scouts questioned coming out of college, has become one of his most dangerous weapons on tape. Meanwhile, questions about Watson refuse to disappear. Reports from inside training camp describe his throws as inconsistent, good one moment, off the next, and hanging over every single practice rep is the same brutal question nobody in Cleveland wants to answer out loud. Can he even stay healthy long enough to matter? Because health isn't just a concern with Deshaun Watson anymore. It's the entire story. 3 seasons in Cleveland, 3 seasons interrupted by injury. It's not bad luck at this point. It's a pattern, and patterns don't lie. Meanwhile, Sanders has reportedly been putting in extra time at the facility, showing up, grinding, building relationships with teammates long before official off-season programs even started. Watson, by comparison, has barely been seen. A brief appearance here, a quiet workout there. It's a small detail, but in a league obsessed with leadership and presence, small details become massive narratives. And here's the part that should terrify Browns fans who've stood by Watson since day one. Even if he wins the job, even if he starts week 1, the insurance payouts already tell you everything about how this front office is thinking long term. The contract is structured to soften the blow of cutting him next spring. Void years, post-June 1st designations, dead cap spread across future seasons.
After 2026. So the big thing here, guys, is this really just plays into the Browns' post-Deshaun Watson plans, which he will be a post-June 1st designated cut next March, even though, again, he won't be on the roster. Think about Jack Conklin, David Njoku, the way the Browns handled those contracts with the void years this past offseason. That's exactly how it's going to work with Deshaun Watson next year. And then after June 1st, the contract split, which the Browns set up by restructuring his contract this past offseason so that the remaining dead cap can then be split over 2 future seasons starting next year. It's really confusing. There's a lot that goes into it, but the bottom line is the Browns are getting some cap relief in future years for Deshaun Watson's injury and all the time that he's missed while he's been in Cleveland.
This isn't the language of a team building around a franchise quarterback. This is the language of an exit strategy. Whether Watson takes a single snap this season or not, the Browns have already started planning for life after him. Quietly, strategically, financially, and that leaves one undeniable truth hanging over Cleveland heading into training camp. The kid they didn't fully believe in a year ago might already be the best option they have. Shedeur Sanders isn't just fighting for a starting job anymore. He's fighting to become the face of a franchise still trying to escape the shadow of its most expensive mistake. Every rep in camp now carries weight, every throw, every decision from the coaching staff. Because somewhere in Cleveland, a locker room is watching, A fan base is watching, and an entire league is watching to see if a 9-year veteran can hold off a kid who refuses to blink. Deshaun Watson still has time. The job isn't gone, not yet. But time is the one thing his body has never cooperated with. And Shedeur Sanders, he's not waiting around for sympathy. He's coming for the job. And every single day this competition stays close is another day the pressure builds on the man who was supposed to have this locked up years ago. Cleveland wanted certainty when they signed that contract. Instead, they got chaos, heartbreak, and now an unavoidable decision that could define this franchise for the next decade. Who leads the Browns into the future? The answer is coming, and when it does, it's going to change everything. If this story pulled you in, hit that subscribe button, because this quarterback battle is only just getting started, and you don't want to miss what happens next.